99% of people eat the wrong carbs. Some fill you up for hours, while others leave you hungry after 10 minutes. So in today's video, we're gonna rank the worst to the best carbs for fat loss and get you the best ones to keep results coming in. Now you might be thinking, Leon, you need a fucking haircut. I know. Just let me get you some value first. Starting from the bottom, the first one going in at D tier will be sugary cereals. Now me, I have a huge sweet tooth. I love some cereal. But the issue with these is they're palatable, they won't keep you full, they'll digest very fast, and leave you hungry more often than not. Not to say you can't have them, but keep them at the minority over the majority. Volume always wins in fat loss. Next into D tier is going to be a bit obvious. We're going to plug in sweets, chocolate, pastries. These are what you call simple carbs, as not all carbohydrate are created equal. Foods like this will spike your blood sugar and leave you open to a crash directly after, sending your energy up and down. It'll be inconsistent. Plus that then as well, they have zero fiber. They're not going to keep you full for long. It's not that you can't have them whenever you're dieting. One thing I always say to my clients, once 90% of your calories on a day by day and a week by week basis are coming from the whole foods, the nutrient dense sources, all of the good stuff that are going to keep you full for long, well, we can have 5 or 10% of your calories on a week by week basis coming from the stuff that we just love and enjoy. That, my friend, is called balance. Balance is not 50-50. If it's 50-50, you ain't gonna get anywhere. It'll be very hard for you to manage calories and stay within your calorie deficit if they're taking up much more than 10% of your calories daily. Next in D tier, we're gonna have liquid calories. These can kill fat loss phases. The likes of juices, even whey protein shakes, milk, you need some milk, and sauces. What you've also got to look out for, lattes, cappuccinos. These are all the hidden calories that can add up. They can cost you 100, 200, 300 calories a day, and they won't even touch the sides. They won't fill you. They're going to leave you hungry. But again, as mentioned, minority in the year as opposed to the majority. Moving into C tier, you're going to be quite surprised with this one. But we're going to slot in white rice. You might be wondering, Leon, rice is a good food. And I ain't saying it not. There ain't any bad or good foods. There are foods that are more optimal for a calorie deficit to keep you full for longer, and there are foods that are not. Rice is one of those foods. Now you can stick this with a lean protein source. You can have some veg to make it a high fiber meal. You can fill it up. You can fill up the plate. But rice itself is very palatable as it's got no fiber, so you'll digest it quite quick. Now, the other side of that is, there is whole grain rice. Whole grain rice, we can slot that into B tier, as it does have a bit more fiber and will keep you full for longer. So if you can opt for whole grain, go for it. Next into C tier is going to be pasta. Same again as what I mentioned with rice. It's not that filling. Whole grain pasta, you can slot that into B tier too. So if you're ever making like a spaghetti bolognese, try and do the whole grain if you can. And final one in the C tier is going to be white bread. I love bread. You got to make that bread. Bread itself is quite similar to pasta and white rice. It won't keep you full for that long. And of course you may be thinking, whole grain bread. We can put that into B tier, as it's going to be more fiber. It'll have a touch more volume. It'll help you manage your calories that bit better. Small changes for these whole grain sources can lead to huge outcomes, putting you in a position to manage your calories daily better, with more accuracy, making it easier. Not that results are always going to be easy, but it's about making better decisions that align with your goal. If you truly want fat loss results, you gotta double down on these. And one final one for B tier, there are some cereals that are high enough in fiber. For example, Weetabix. We can put that into B tier. It's higher in fiber, it'll be more satiating, it'll keep you full for longer. The only issue with using Weetabix, you probably have to use some form of liquid calories alongside it. That's where the calories can add up. It ain't a bad option, but just be mindful. Moving into A tier, we is starting to get to the good stuff now. First one on the list is going to be regular fruit. Now, the reason I said regular there, we will have more fruit in S tier, but not all fruit is created equal. When you look at bananas, apples, pears, dates, they will have some decent fiber levels. They will be a touch higher in comparison to other fruit, so you just got to be careful and make sure they fit into your calories, of course. But they are phenomenal foods to use in a fat loss phase, as they will help with keeping you full for longer. Plus good nutrients then as well, keeping your energy in a good place. Next in A tier are going to be oats. The goats. These are one of my favorites to use in a fat loss phase. They've got great volume, high in fiber. For the portion amount you can get, they're going to keep you full for long. And you can do them so many different ways. I'd recommend using whey protein to mix in to increase the protein intake. But you can use fruit, fat sources like dark chocolate, peanut butter to create a high satiating meal that's going to keep you full for long and generally quite easy to fit into your calories then as well. Big tip for you here though, make sure you use water with your oats. If you're in the position where you're trying to get the most amount of food out of the least amount of calories, using water in your oats will help. It takes a bit of time to find the correct ratios, but if you have a good taste in whey protein, there's still going to be some tasty motherfuckers. Now we're moving into S tier, and this is what's going to separate you from having a lesser optimal journey to an optimal journey. A fat loss phase where results just happen, not you having to chase them all the time. First on S tier, we're going to have quinoa, which is an underrated source to use in a fat loss phase. When you're digging deep on calories and you're trying to get the most out of your food daily, quinoa can be brilliant to use alongside a lean protein source. Maybe some veg then as well. And I just mentioned the next one. Of course, we got the veg on S tier. Veg is low calorie but has crazy fiber amounts. The more fiber you intake when you're pushing in a calorie deficit, the more results you're going to see, as it's going to put you in a much better position to adhere to your daily targets. Try and use some seasoning, maybe fry them off. Veg you love and enjoy. Rinse and repeat that on a day-by-day basis. One rule of thumb, I'd recommend having minimum 50 to 100 gram of veg alongside each savory meal that you have across the day. That'll put you in a position where you are getting substantial fiber amount in, which will help with your results. Next on S tier, we've got a big one. Potato is going on the list. Now this can be white or sweet potato, but the volume in potato is crazy, especially in comparison to other carbohydrate sources like rice or pasta. There's actually a study that found potato will fill you up 4 to 5 times more than rice will. Now if that's not enough to convince you, I don't know what is. The good thing about using potato in a deficit is you can get creative. You can chop these up into roasties, chips, use the air fryer. You can have so much fun with these, making your diet sustainable and maintainable longer term. And finally on S tier, we're gonna have berries. So mind I mentioned about the regular fruit earlier. This is the reason why. Berries are the best fruit that you can have in a diet. Their volume is crazy. An example that I'm gonna use here, let's do a comparison. From wherever in the world that you're watching this, I'm sure you've heard of Oreos. For 100 calories worth of Oreos, it's only 21 grams. 21 grams is 100 calories in Oreos. 21 grams ain't that much. Well, what's 100 calories worth in strawberries? Anywhere from 300 to 350 grams. 300 grams versus 21 grams for the same calories. Which one do you feel is going to fill you up for the longest? Obviously the strawberries. So when you look at strawberries, blackberries, blueberries, raspberries, the fiber levels in them alongside the volume are what you want to use alongside your sweet meals. If you're ever having oats, maybe some yogurt, please hammer the berries. It's going to make you full, satiated, fill you up for quite some time, which is going to put you in a better position to adhere to your calorie deficit and your daily total targets, putting results on easy mode. And that is it. That is all you need to have a successful diet with high volume foods. If you nail the foods from B tier and A tier for the majority of the year over the minority, think of the success you're going to have when you're pushing a calorie deficit. It's going to make things so much easier. As again, the goal is to get the most amount of food out of the least amount of calories to keep results coming in like clockwork. Leave a like, subscribe, drop a comment in if you found this helpful. There may be some foods you disagree with here, let me know. Or maybe some better ones that I want to know about. And if you're looking to set successful calorie targets up for your next diet, check out one of my previous videos on the channel for how to set it up. So you can take everything that we've ran through today and apply that into your own journey. Application is where you win. Please don't just take this information and do nothing. I want to see you win in your next diet. Promise me you're going to fucking smash it. I'll catch you in the next one.